This is where much of your pork comes from. Pigs in cages so small they can barely move. And it's legal. But the Minister says he didn't know.
Oh, it's a bit disturbing.
Agriculture Minister David Carter.
To see animals in those confined conditions, I didn't find it something that I was very comfortable with.
We showed him the footage from SAFE of that pig farm.
Didn't you know about it?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't know to the extent to which they were confined other than for farrowing purposes.
Farrowing. That's when the sow is held in a narrow crate with room to one side for the piglets. But the footage we showed the Minister was of sow stalls where the pigs are held until they give birth.
The video I've just seen, there was no issue around farrowing. It was more about keeping animals separated and in confinement, and I presume that's something to do with mating.
As a minister and a farmer, how would you not know?
Oh, because as a farmer, I certainly know most of the industry very, very well, but I'm not an expert in pig farming, and my understanding is that it's an animal that is not as easy to farm as most people think, particularly if you're in a fairly intensive farming operation, and clearly that property was.
What do you make of it then?
Well, what I would need to know is whether that is typical of what's happening in New Zealand pork industry, and I suspect it's not.
But this clearly isn't a one-off. A quick look on SAFE's website shows footage from other farms around New Zealand.
There are videos also on the internet for all to see.
Yeah. I can only comment on what you've just shown me now over the last 10 minutes, and I don't know whether that's typical of the pig farming industry or an exceptional circumstance.
But according to SAFE, that is typical.
Actually, the stat is that 45% of the New Zealand sows are kept in crates, and you're talking about 22,000 sows.
Legalised in the Animal Welfare Code for pigs, drawn up by the National Animal Welfare Advisory Committee, a code due for review this year.
The decisions need to be made finally by me, but only after I get recommendations from NAWAC, which is the National Animal Welfare Advisory Committee. So that's a panel of experts that will consider this matter, and I understand they'll be reporting later in the year to me.
Isn't it fairly obvious, though? You've got pigs that can't move forward, can't move back, can't turn around. What science do you need to tell you?
But isn't the question you need to ask as to why any good pig farmer would put those animals in those conditions? There must be a reason for it. I can't imagine you'd get the best performance out of your pigs by doing that. So presumably the good farmers have thought through how best to get the most production out of their animals, and they will have a reason for it. Now,
so without proper answers from the Minister, we went to the farmers. The Pig Industry Board, which represents farmers, declined to appear on camera, but it says intensive farming is the only way the industry can remain competitive, and changing over from crates and stalls costs millions of dollars. The board argues stalls and crates are the best way of protecting pigs housed indoors from injuring one another. It believes less than half of pigs, around 20,000, are now in stalls or crates. By 2015, the proposal is sows will spend roughly half their time out of those stalls and crates.
Just because I'm a commercial pig farmer, does it mean to say that you need to be cruel to your animals?
But here, says one pig farmer, is the obvious way.
While they're here, they have the best life we can possibly give them, and when they're gone, they make damn good bacon.
Havoc Farm in Canterbury is a free-range farm.
Piggy piggy.
SAFE brought Mike King for a look.
You're a big bully, you are. Notice he's the same colour? Hello, beautiful.
So, Mike, how does this compare with your other experience?
Night and day. I mean, look at this thing. It's gorgeous, aren't you, beautiful? You smell so clean.
A happy pig.
A happy pig. I mean, you look how happy these piggies are. They're all just lying around. They're suckling up to their mother. Why would you go for slavery pigs when you can have free range?
The previous review of the Pig Welfare Code began back in 2001, and in SAFE's opinion, the new review, the promises of studies, are just delaying tactics.
Farmers have a very strong lobby, and I've never seen a pig going to the ballot box. I've seen a lot of farmers doing it.
But the Minister insists he will act if the review says it's justified.
Could you understand the public, though, looking at those pictures and going, why does he need a vet or an agriculturalist to tell him that that's wrong?
Yes, I can. But I think the public also need to ask the other question as to why would a farmer, as a normal course of events on that farm, operate that way, and at least put some balance into the story and find out why.
Minister, we came here to hear the explanation of why this is so, and you're saying you don't know why.
No, I'm certainly saying to you, I'm a sheep and beef farmer. I know that industry intimately. As to why a farmer manages their pig population in the way you've described it today, I am not an expert on that at all.
But you're the Minister of Agriculture.
That's right. But
You
it doesn't mean
knew
to
we
say,
were investigating
But
this.
it doesn't mean to say I'm a professional pig farmer, cattle farmer, sheep farmer and poultry farmer. That's not what you expect out of your Minister of Agriculture.
And what about Mike King? Has his investigation put him off pork?
No, I still love pork, and why wouldn't I? Try that.
Well, I thought the experiences in that place might have put you off.
No, the experience put me off eating caged pork. This is free-range pork. This style of farming is acceptable, and cage farming isn't. And if we want to make a difference, we should eat this type of pork rather than the cage pork.
Next up, Piggy Sue, the crate farmed pig, wins her first case of freedom.